Hello, we are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kayla.
One podcast,
two sisters. That was pretty good.
I think so.
I'm really impressed with us right now. All right, so you might have been sick of us because we just had a new podcast out yesterday, but too bad. There's two episodes this week. We did the Woman Tell All, and now we're going to be diving into Fantasy Suites. Make sure I do not forget, this is episode number 32, Bachelor Recap, Fantasy Suites.
Okay, I have a question to just start this off, because I asked Jared this last night while we were watching, actually.
I think we are not going to agree a lot this episode.
That's all right, well, let's see.
Okay.
Would you, if, like, you were Gabby, Rachel, whatever, if you were one of them, would you rather be the first date, the middle, or the last?
First.
Yeah, I think me too. Because number one, if they do bang everybody, do you really want to be the third? That's nasty. 3 days in a row.
I need at least 2 showers and maybe like a solid 5 Ps in between sexual encounters.
And then also, though, I feel like they measure up against the first one. So I feel like if you had a really good time, like, I feel like that's the most not in his head that he would be, is the first date. Because it's like you're really only thinking about that person. But as it goes on, I think you really think about the other ones during the date.
Yeah. My plan of action would just give him the best booty he's ever had. And he'll cancel the other ones.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I would do. I would like go in thinking like, okay, like maybe I could get him to shut down the show. Because they've done it before. They've done it earlier than this, you know? If he's just like all of a sudden, he's so in love with me and he just even want to like move on with these other girls. That's how I would romanticize it.
Okay. All right. So let's dive in.
All right. So the person who gets the first fantasy suites is Rachel. And before this episode, I've always had I've just always thought he ended up with Rachel. I've just always had this gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it all seemed to go smooth, right? She just needed to wait and hear from him that he was falling in love. And then, I mean, they were the most in the hurry. Like, they were running to the room once they got the key.
Well, they've been the most, like, sexual the whole time. Their relationship is very, like, slow, making out, deep.
And whispers.
Yeah. But then something, I love Rachel, and I've actually thought that they were going to be together at the end, too. I mean, who knows, really. But, this episode, for some reason, it bugged me. Like, and she is always like this, but, like, she just smiles really big all the time. Like, is she really that
She's
happy?
got a cute smile.
It is very cute, but, like, I feel like, I don't think she's being fake, like, she doesn't really love him or, like, any of that stuff, but a little bit fake in the respect of always being so...
Yeah, it Peter's on the line of, is it real? Like, is she fake? Which I don't think I don't know. Once you meet their families, I feel like you just like want to nurture them more. But they're all like, I just feel like I know the top 3 are just all really good people, I think. Yeah. No, like maybe one of the best top 3 there's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they just seem to have a good time. There really wasn't anything super worthy, except my question is, hasn't it been a while since usually when they go to the fantasy suite era, they're already all living separately?
No, they just started doing this the last couple seasons, and I think it's so messed up. I hate it.
It's a form of torture.
No, and they're like, I think it actually makes them less likely to be successful.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point, just out of respect for everyone, they need to kind of have their separate space. And usually they have it by then now, but I guess maybe not the last couple seasons. But yeah, it's just awkward. It's like the walk of shame, but walking in on his other girlfriends.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Susie thing wouldn't even be a thing if that wasn't the case.
Like, she was spiraling. Like, so Susie was the last one to get the fantasy suites, and that
Which,
just
of course, they chose that on purpose because they want to destroy people's lives, I swear.
yeah. Yep. But then we have Gabby's fantasy suite, and I thought they're just so sweet. I love Gabby so much. I just selfishly want her to be heartbroken at the end of this. But in a really great grand way. I hope her performance next week is just on actual. I know Meryl Streep gets thrown a lot in Bachelor Nation nowadays, but like actual Meryl Streep so that she can be our Bachelorette. I'm just so gung ho on that idea that that's my main focus is I need to start trying to control this narrative that Gabby has. So we're going to be on a PR blitz next week, making sure people love Gabby.
Yeah, so I thought that date went really good and it was really cute. I think out of all the dates, well, I did like the Blue Lagoon too, but that was a really fun, just like enjoyable date to go dune buggying. Like I think that'd be a really cool date to
That
have.
would be really fun. And that brings us to when are we going to Iceland? We have talked about the four of us and our husbands going to Iceland for forever. This episode made me like, even more excited about it.
Me too. Me and Jared both were like, oh my gosh, yeah. But we gotta wait till after the babies.
Fine. I don't know. Moving on. So yeah, does anything just
No, honestly, I will say I was disappointed by this episode because it was like everything we already knew pretty much and then just left us. I thought that this was going to be like the final and I thought the next week was just the live part. So I'm very annoyed with that.
Yeah, it's 2 nights next week too, Monday and Tuesday. So I'm thinking we
say
do 2 episodes next week too.
Okay, so anyways, then it is Susie. And at this point, Susie is like
losing her marbles.
Maybe you did. I don't know. I can't be with them if you did, and all this stuff. And then they go to the Blue Lagoon. It's kind of awkward. Then it's good. Clayton is like really in love with her. And they sit down and she breaks it to him. If you had sex or love anybody else, I can't handle it and I will have to leave. It's like, why'd you wait till this moment, girlfriend?
Yeah, so here's my question. Are you team Susie or team Clayton? The internet is on a roar. They are coming for Clayton and they are coming hard.
I'm team nobody because I just think the whole thing was stupid. I thought, this is why it's hard. Okay. I see Susie's point, but also that's so unfair. What she's doing is so extremely unfair. You tell him a deal breaker, you were basically testing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like making him fail by telling him do whatever you want because she said to him, I want you to explore these relationships to the full extent. She said that stuff to him, and then now that he didn't do what she thought he should have done, then now she's just leaving. So I don't agree with that.
Very
I think that's
immature.
Yeah, but then I don't necessarily love all the way that Clayton responded to it. I'm not really quite sure how he could have handled it better because really that was a terrible situation. But he just got so mad.
I'm 100% team Clayton. And that's why I feel like a little bit like the kid who has to like eat in the bathroom because they has no friends. Like no one else on the internet agrees with me except the one. I liked one comment today that was like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. But the thing to me is, what is something we say all the time, Amy?
It's all about communication, man.
No one will, in any of your relationships, romantic or otherwise, will be able to read this thing. And I'm pointing at the brain. You have to communicate your needs. I think I have some type of say in successful relationships. I think I have good stats. And 100% it was just so clear to me that Susie should have communicated her boundaries. And Clayton is not going to read Susie's mind. That whole thing, Clayton did nothing wrong. This process, yeah, people are saying memes of like, it's like I have to tell you not to sleep with other women or whatever. This is not a normal situation. It is agreed upon non-monogamous relationship at this point. And there's not rules to it. And if anything, everyone from almost all points of view have said, oh, like go and like really throw yourself in this process. And really, I think what Clayton was doing is he was just honing in on that person, that moment, and completely opened up, and he was feeling all of these things. I think you can fall in love with 3 people at once. I feel like love doesn't mean necessarily you should marry them. There's a lot more that goes into it, but I don't know. I just think people are being especially hard on him when I think people should be harder on Susie. People are being like, now Susie for Bachelorette, blah, 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 blah. Like, I hope not. I don't know.
Well, the one thing that he did say it's fine if he really wanted to fight for Susie, but the fact that he said, I love you the most.
There's no going back.
How is he going to be successful? But here's something else that I thought. I'm pretty sure Rachel Lindsay, remember she had that guy that was the runner-up or
Peter
like
Krause?
top 3? Yeah. They were like, it seemed like in love, like she would have chosen him, all that stuff. And that's happened more than once. I know there's other seasons that it's been the exact same thing. That person decides to leave and they think that was my person. I think when you think you're about to lose something, you see all the flashes of the good and what it could have been and all that stuff. But I don't think that necessarily means that really was like has to be the number one person. And like going through this thing obviously proved that isn't his person. So I hope that doesn't completely bite him in the butt. I'm pretty sure it's going to. But I don't think like she shouldn't have said it, but at the same time, I hope that they don't hold that too true because I think he was just losing losing someone that he was feeling strongly about, and I think he was panicked.
I like that point of view.
Better. Yeah,
I really do see that love between him and Rachel, and that love between him and Gabby. So yeah, I hope it could be salvaged. It's not looking great. It's not really giving us in the sneak peek if he's gonna try to go for those other 2 ladies or if Susie gets back in the picture. But for me, I kept seeing flashbacks when Susie told Clayton of Maddie and Peter. And it's just like Maddie 2.0. I don't know. Yeah. It was just
that, and also almost this is even worse. So I'm not really comparing Susie to this, but Luke and Hannah.
I know everyone was like, wait, no, grocery store Joe actually tweeted saying, I really want Susie to tell Clayton that I like fuck, but God still loves me, or what's that? What's her quote? Yeah, I might have done it in a windmill, but God still loves me.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Something. Yeah. No, for real though. And that kind of does prove, like, why can't a girl say that? But I mean, why isn't it an outrage that a girl's saying that when it was such an outrage? I mean, obviously it was spoken way differently because she wasn't necessarily saying what he did was wrong. She was just saying, like, for me, because of how I feel about that, I can't get past it, which again, so rude to do. Like, you literally didn't give him the opportunity to make the right choice, and he is a dude.
Yeah.
I know that can't just be all the excuse, but at the same time, like, if you tell someone to explore their relationships, you know he's a very sexual person. You can just tell he likes to make out, very much just like that. What did you expect, girlfriend?
I know. Like, it just, but then, so I was actually talking to one of our TikTokers because we've built a TikTok community and we talk on there, so follow us. We were kind of going back and forth because she just thinks that she hates that Teddy said to Clayton, I hope he's okay, knowing what he did to the 3 girls. And that, she thinks that Clayton shouldn't have talked to Susie like that. And like I've seen gaslighting a lot on social media too. I did feel
at a certain point it was a little bit not aggressive because that's a little intense of a word, but at the same time, This is what I think, though. To a certain extent, I'm not saying that gaslighting is okay. I'm really not saying that. But to a certain extent, when couples first argue and they don't know how to communicate with each other and they haven't learned yet, it's not going to just be perfect the first fight where you do everything right and people don't say something they shouldn't say or something like that. I mean, obviously there's a line,
Yeah.
but I don't think he necessarily crossed that line. I think that he was just so heated that he even stopped himself. He's like, this is not even showing my character. Like, I can't talk about this anymore because
I thought he was very
I'm
mature in the situation. I think his anger is valid. I think it didn't
but
need,
he did just kind of shut her down though, real hard.
but I think
But
she did
also,
the
what else
same to
was there to
him.
say? Yeah, also, what else was there to say? He was right. Like,
She
you
had
keep
made her
saying I can't
decision.
stay here, so why do you keep saying that? Like, just
Yeah.
leave.
Like, I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not saying, like, Susie's a villain or anything like that.
no.
She did what was best for her. But, I mean, the whole not communicating that and doing this at the very last minute, like, really, it could fuck up this whole thing, Clayton's whole experience. And I just thought that was a little just, like, selfish and just unself-aware.
Well,
And
another thing that I told Jared too was like when Jesse came over there and talked to him, it kind of seems like this kind of was his worst case scenario, worst fear, biggest insecurity.
yeah.
So for that also to be happening in already such a high stress emotional journey to be happening right then, like he was not in the mind. He was
I think he was in
upset.
shock
Like,
too. He just thought he
yeah,
was really excited for that night. I didn't feel anything cross the line with how he spoke to her. I thought he stayed respectful, and I think I didn't sense any aggression. Maybe she in the moment, maybe I just how I watched it on TV. I didn't
mhm.
feel that way. I thought he was very stoic, and you could tell he was angry, but he was really like, I don't know. I've actually grown to really like Clayton. I think as people it's happened the opposite to other people. It started off real low, but it's kind of gradually gone up, and then it's the opposite for everybody else.
Yeah. Well, you said you have a hot take. Did you already say it?
Oh yeah, my hot take is Team Clayton.
Oh, okay. So here's another thing that I think might happen.
Okay.
I think that Susie comes back for the rose ceremony.
Oh damn. Oh, that'll be drama.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think no because of what you see. Like
But
if you remember the
why?
preview. Well, maybe she comes back and well, but then that wouldn't totally make sense either. I'm actually confused. I don't know, but like
It does make a lot of sense though. I went back and I was an Amy investigator. Um, both Clayton and Susie's Instagram, like, don't post about each other.
yeah,
Like, I think they're still in it, but I'm just like, so I'm most curious of like, yeah, what we're seeing now and what we're seeing in 3 months ago or whatever. But I want like where they are now. Like, what could that jump be? It could be for any three of them.
yeah, and I have a really sad feeling that he's with no one. But I really don't. And then I read something, but this is again, I don't think it's not like a spoiler.
Okay.
That some people were saying something about like maybe he's going to get another season.
No, that's not happening. It is weird we
Well,
haven't been told, like, no one knows what is happening for the next season, and I feel like we this close to usually we know by now, right?
yeah, because normally they're already filming because, well, okay, wait, were we going to have a Bachelor in Paradise before The Bachelor? Or are we supposed to just have a Bachelor next?
I don't know. There's so many weird rumors going around of if we're gonna even have a Bachelor in Paradise, and then I know
What? Why?
for what's his name? No, not Reality Steve. What's that guy? I always send it to you. Anyways, he got like an anonymous tip from someone on the network or something, but I don't know.
Well, they haven't said like, oh, we're going to see you on the beach.
Yeah, I'm probably, like, too far down, like, the Bachelor TikTok rabbit hole right by now, like, my For You
If there's
page.
not a Bachelor in Paradise, I'm gonna be
Oh,
mad.
I'll be pissed, I'll be
I don't
pissed.
wanna watch another one of these seasons before I have a Bachelor in Paradise season. I need it. I'm craving
Oh, it's
it.
gonna be fire, it's gonna be fire.
So
Um,
what outcome do you see? Just make up one.
I don't
Your best shot.
oh,
Give it your best
jeez.
shot.
Okay, what I want to happen,
Okay.
Rachel and Clayton. I want them to be together, and I want Gabby to be the Bachelorette, and we can send Susie to the beach.
All right. I'm on board for that. I just really hope that Rachel I don't I really don't think that Susie and Clayton should be together now. But I'm scared that they might try and then I just think that's not going to work.
I mean, I feel like if they view sex so differently, I just feel like that's a bigger long-term problem.
Well, I don't necessarily think that. I think that when Susie watches this back, she's not going to be able to handle it.
Oh, yeah, probably happening all over again. Jeez.
Yeah, and like even just seeing the way he is with Rachel, seeing the way he is with these other girls, I think it'll just send her further and further down as like I'm not special, I'm not this, I'm not that,
Mhm.
and then at the end it just won't work unless they agree to not watch it together. Because did has there ever been? I feel like someone said like we don't watch it. Or
Yeah, I
something.
think there has been something like that, or they only watch it alone, or they only watch it together. Like they have kind of different. I don't know. I know they get like therapists and stuff like on their way out, so that's probably helpful.
Yeah, I would be like, can you guys just make a montage of just us and I don't have to watch anything else?
Yep. Yep.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out. I'm so mad that we have to wait another week.
I
I really
know.
thought I was going to get some more closure.
I know it's gonna be so good. So we're gonna try to do a Tuesday, Wednesday drop next week for the last 2 episodes of Bachelor, and then we don't know really where we'll see you next because we don't know what's happening. Except for we will be the new Netflix show that like brought to you by Love Is Blind. It's hosted by the Lachey's. It's called the Ultimatum. And Susie gave Clayton an ultimatum without telling him.
Even giving it to him. She created it in her
Yes.
brain.
So we will be doing recaps of the ultimatum. I think I saw something today where it's actually only going to be 2 big batches. So we're just going to have 2 probably hour-long recaps after each batch comes out, and we're excited. It's if it's anything like Love Is Blind, it will be fire.
Yep, we're excited. So follow us on TikTok because we are popping.
We
on
are
there.
viral queens.
Yeah. And on Instagram, those are our main ones. Give us a review
YouTube.
on Apple Podcast. Oh yes, YouTube for sure. Follow, subscribe, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, and did you already say email?
No, email us at stopwearingmyclothespod
Cast.
at gmail.com with any hot takes, questions, the juice. Do you know anything? Tell us.
Tell us all. All right, awesome. Well, see you next week.